Hi teams, back tonight with another update for you. We're going to cover off, I think, three main topics tonight. Matt will talk about the isolation stuff again, certainly an update on lateral flow devices, because I know that's exercising a lot of our teams at the minute, and then a bit about kind of behaviours and support that we'll put in for the teams in the next couple of weeks. So certainly the first one there, Matt, was about the isolation criteria. I know we went through them the other night, but just some of our teams have just asked for clarification about the exemption criteria, and particularly around that booster vaccine and when it really kicks in for the exemption about having to keep self-isolation. So Matt, we just run through the teams again, what those isolation criteria are.
Yeah, absolutely, Harry. So we mentioned last night the kind of 4 factors, if you like. So we had the double vaccination plus your booster has to be there, so that you have to have the 3 vaccines essentially. You have to have a negative PCR confirmation as well, so that can take people obviously out of the pharmacies for a day or two while they get through that PCR process and get that result back. We have also that you have to be symptomless, so no COVID symptoms at all, and then you do the daily lateral flow tests from them on. So they were the 4 bits. I suppose the bit I didn't mention last night was, of course, after your booster, as with other COVID vaccinations, that 14-day period after means that it's not effective until after that 14 days. So just to clarify that, just for the teams out there, because I have spoken personally to a couple of people today about that in their particular pharmacies and affecting team members.
Yeah, no, that's great. But I think that's just nice clarification of exactly what those criteria are, Matt, and what we need to apply for it. It takes us, I think, onto our lateral flow device update. We've got a few things to update on that. We mentioned last night that we were trying to get things streamlined for the network, and we've had a couple of calls about that already, about what that actually is. So we've now got agreement in principle that we can streamline the process. And Matt, can you give the teams the update on just a bit about what that might look like?
Yeah, well, as Harry says, yeah, we've got an agreement in principle with Scottish Government that we can make it maybe a bit more efficient for you guys. It's just a case at the minute that I know people in the e-pharmacy team at Scottish Government and along with ourselves, we're trying to just engage with PMR suppliers to make sure it's 100% possible. But it would mean, for example, creating a dummy patient with a dummy CAI and a dummy date of birth, so that actually what you could do is you could just keep a track of your test kits that have went out, and if they're all the same batch number, you could put it through at the end of the day through that one patient, if you like, and it would still allow you to track those going out under those batch numbers, but it would just be paid under that one transaction rather than you having to do it for each individual patient. This would be a temporary thing. Yep. For just a few weeks, probably till Monday the 10th of January has been talked about at the minute, just to help us get through this period at the minute, and then we'd need to revert back for all the reasons onto the original service spec. But we can't quite clarify it with some of the PMR suppliers yet, Harry, so it's just we're waiting on that information, and as soon as we can, we'll be back tomorrow to say, yeah, press the button on that, hopefully.
Yeah, so we do intend to be back tomorrow anyway, teams, just to an update. We know 1 or 2 already can, so we're just working out the exact detail about how we make this a bit easier for you, and then we'll be back to update you and allow you to do it with maybe a wee bit less bureaucracy. But I think Matt's absolutely right. It's up until the 10th of January, but that will really help us through this particular period. It shows you how fast-paced this is becoming, Matt, and some of the things we were on last night saying, oh, you can order up to 2, use your as much as you can. I think there's an update as well from Alliance today about the level that they're able to supply out to the pharmacies.
Yeah, absolutely, Harry. Unfortunately, I think, as you can imagine, Alliance at this time of year, just like you guys, are absolutely swamped with regular medicines distribution, and they have their own issues with capacity around workforce and their capacity on their actual vans and the like. So they're saying at the minute, Alliance, that it'll be restricted to 1 box of the kits that you get. So again, that could be a moving feast. I know Alliance are trying everything they can to make that, but I suppose they are the only ones that took on the contract with the UK government to get those supplies out to pharmacies across the UK. and I know they're trying their utmost, and certainly they've been very good at trying to keep us updated as much as possible. But it looks at the minute, guys, and I know that will not meet the demand that we're hearing in some of the pharmacies. But part of that, Robbie and the guys have produced the posters, which will be on our website for in and out of stock if you want to use them, so you can put them in your window and maybe stop some queries coming to your pharmacy teams, which I know is something that you want to avoid. Answering these questions are around lack. If you've not got any, for example, you want a visible thing that you're maybe already doing that in your pharmacies, but we've just produced something as well here at CPS to you print off and use if possible.
Yep. And those links, Matt, I know have gone out on social media and they're on the website at the minute for the team. So if you go into our COVID hub on the CPS Scotland, our Community Pharmacy Scotland website, you'll get access to those posters, and I think they will help you. So please, if you can, make use of them. And that type of support that we're doing our best for you, I have to say, we've got the team, we're getting plenty of questions coming in. So if you are concerned about something, ask us. We'll do our absolute best to get back to you with an answer on that. Then you'll see inquiries at cps.scot is the best way to come into us, and we'll pick them up across the team with that. We're also hearing, though, that some of the behaviours of the public are reverting back to maybe a year ago, and let's just say they're not being kind, and that's unacceptable. So we'll be on to our government colleagues, etc., to get that messaging out that you are doing your absolute best in a very difficult situation, and please be kind, and we're very grateful for what you're certainly doing. And so that's really, we're just trying to say to you as a CPS team, you're not alone. We are doing as much as we can behind the scenes to make this as easy for you, recognising that this is your busiest time of the year. We know what it's like at that front line during December. So we do as much as we can to support you. And as I say, we'll be back tomorrow, Matt, with another update about how we can go about streamlining this. I know but we'll keep you going. It's as fast paced as it was a year ago. Certainly at this particular point. So we'll keep you going with as much information as we can during this week.
Absolutely. All the best, guys.
We'll see you later.